Okay, guys, we are now on to the surprise of last year in some ways, of course, that being the Detroit Lions. They have a pretty good roster. They've also made a lot of upgrades overall, very underrated moves as well. I'm really excited to get to this team's roster. Let's go. Let's see what they look like, of course, going into 2024 as they look to become back-to-back NFC North champions. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the Detroit Lions 2024 roster. Of course, this is a team that I'm very excited to go through because they're actually good for once. It's been a very long time since it's actually been a reality. Of course, they won the NFC North for the first time since 1991 last year. Won their first, no, 1993, I think. Whatever. First playoff win since 1991. That's for sure. Of course, they won 2 playoff games, and that of course led them to the NFC Championship, where they did fall short, blowing that 10-point 24-14 lead, over the San Francisco 49ers. So they're trying to again get back to that point and actually get the pinnacle of the sport, of course, the Super Bowl. Will they be able to get their first one ever? Well, they certainly have the team to do it. Of course, we'll get into that right now. Of course, the guy who leads them is Jared Goff. He has had a career renaissance, to say the least, of course, at quarterback for them. Again, last year, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Very consistent year. Yeah, he had some games where he wasn't awesome, but overall, he was really good last season. Again, he was the most confident and most, again, I think, secure quarterback he's been in his whole career. Of course, had that really rough end to his career with the Rams in 2020 and 2019, really overall. 2021, he did do actually a decent job. Again, the numbers weren't great. The record wasn't great, but still better than, again, the year before. Then obviously had a really good 2022. Maybe, again, last year, again, maybe not as consistent overall, but again, he led this team to the playoffs. He is the dude. Hendon Hooker, not a bad backup, obviously, as well. We haven't really seen him play again in the NFL yet, because again we'll see him in the in training camp. Of course, tore his ACL for Tennessee in his last year there. Again, he has an incredible deep ball. I'm not mad about him as backup at all. Again, he's more experienced. Well, that is good. Nate Sudfeld, do not want to see him on a football field. So if it gets to that point, well, I hope they have another guy to put in the game. But either way, I do like their quarterback situation a heck of a lot. Again, Jared Goff is not going to be the guy that will no one's confusing him as an elite guy. Again, you could be the biggest Jared Goff stan, unless you're like on something. You really can't say he's an elite quarterback, but I think he's right there, and I think, again, you can win with this guy at quarterback. Again, he's shown to be able to do it. Again, when he has that confidence, when he's on, as many people will say, he's really freaking good. So, again, as a guy who played for the Rams, I saw some really good things out of him. Again, at his peaks, he's one of the again, just one of the most incredible players. Again, just the feeling of it. Yeah, even if he's not really there. Again, his what is it called, the way he throws football, it's a little weird again with how it comes out sometimes, but that really doesn't matter because again, he gets his team wins, and he's again a really good quarterback. I'll give him a B+, which gives him 45 points at quarterback. Now let's look at the running back position. And looking at the running back situation for the Lions, it is among the best in the entire NFL. Of course, David Montgomery, he has proven to be a bowling ball type of back. He bounces off tackles at an extremely high rate. Yes, is he the fastest? Yes, is he the most, again, reliable in terms of, again, vision? No, he's not the most consistently, but, again, with a really good offensive line, which the Lions do have, this is a guy who can just absolutely, again, break it away. Again, he had a run, of course, 75 yards last year, which was a candidate for the best run of the year. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it was one of the best, obviously. And yeah, he's proven to be, again, a reliable number 1 back. Yes, his receiver has really always been limited, never really has been able to run effective routes, but he's a good guy to get, again, as a volume guy. Again, he's proven to be a good player. There's really nothing else to say there. Jahmyr Gibbs, probably one of the most electric players in the entire NFL. This guy just, again, he's awesome. Again, as a receiver, I'd like to see him get even more usage next year. I don't think he'll ever be a guy that's going to get more than at the most 250 touches, and I don't really think he needs to do that because, again, you see how effective he is outside of that. And again, you saw what they did with him last year. Again, I'd like to see him, again, they used a lot of him with the outside zone, but I'd like to see more pitches and getting him to spaces where he can break away big plays, screens and stuff like that. Continue, again, with the motion and stuff, because, again, I really think he could be, again, a special player in that way as well. But, again, the biggest thing with Jahmyr Gibbs is, again, I think this guy could, even going up to 30, again, he's only 22 now. So, again, let's say in 10 years, I still think he can be an effective player in the NFL, because if the Lions use him right and don't put him in situations where he's getting 30+ touches a game, this guy could be, again, a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He has so much potential. He was electric as a rookie. I expect him even better this year. Jahmyr Gibbs is a beast. Craig Reynolds, one of the hardest working players in the entire NFL. Yes, is he talented? Not really, but he works for those yards. Again, he's really shown, again, an ability to, again, be a good player when he's on the field. Yes, he will, again, there's going to be plays where, if we had, Jahmyr Gibbs in the game or something like that. Obviously, we're not comparing those guys. Yeah, he probably would have gotten first down there. But Craig Reynolds, I think, is a really solid third back, and again, I really respect, again, for his work ethic. Sony back, he's literally just a power back. Throw him in the field, that's what he'll do. My guess is he won't get many touches, but again, if the Lions have a really good season, he could get some work at the end of the season. But either way, the Lions have be probably the best running back duo in the league, so I'll probably give them an A+ running back. I really like Craig Reynolds. You can call me a little bit bullish, but I mean, guys, it's probably the best running back duo in the league. I really don't know why you can't give him an A+ there. This was an extremely impressive group last year. And again, both these guys had over like, what was it, 1,300 total yards. These guys are just, again, when you have 2,000 yards rushers on the team, I think I can give them an A+. That comes to 9, 18, 27, and 36 points. And again, you wouldn't call either of these guys truly elite. Now let's look at wide receiver. Okay, now looking at the Lions receiving core, this is a group that is very, I'd say kind of mosh posh, to be honest. But obviously, they have a true elite number 1 wide receiver. That is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, he's not going to be the guy you're going to expect to blow by guys, but he is an incredible yak threat in terms of, I think he's really underrated in that aspect. Again, super reliable, has just gross hands. Obviously, 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns last year. Again, as a red zone guy, again, underneath type of stuff. Good, pretty good intermediate. Again, doesn't create the most separation, but again, he's an electric guy when you get the ball in his hands as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy you just really can't ignore because, again, he's just going to make big plays. And obviously, he is a number 1 receiver. And again, he's one of the best guys in the league. Again, arguably top 10 there. Jameson Williams, or Seamus Williams as I call him, he has not lived up to his draft status yet. He is a deep threat. He really has done more as a runner in ways, gets on those what is called end arounds, than as a receiver. I really need to see him get open more and just be more again predictable as a route runner. Because if he can't be that, I don't really know why he's on this team. That's like my honest opinion. Because again, if he's not running routes, again, it's really kind of the T in some ways. Again, the way this what is called Lions offense is run, it just won't work out. It's true there. Either way, though, Khalif Raymond, he's not, I don't think he's, again, one of the best third receivers in the league, but he has decent depth. He's shown to be a guy, again, you can get the football to and, again, pretty relied on. Yeah, only 1 touchdown the past 2 years, but, again, he's not really been a red zone threat at all. But, again, he has pretty decent hands, not elite by any means, but he does do a good job. Again, pretty good yak threat. I'm not, again, you're not going to be too concerned if he's your third receiver. Again, he'd be even better if you had a better guy there, but he's not the worst to have there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he fell off a cliff last year. I don't know what it was, but he just didn't play much. That's just, again, again, only 8 games last year. Well, actually 15, whatever. He didn't play much, that's all I'll say. Again, career high 2022 season. He, again, never has been a guy where I'm like, yeah, that guy's going to be consistently really good. But he, again, had back-to-back years where I'm like, yeah, he's improving. But he did absolutely nothing last year, so I really don't know what to expect this year. Antoine Green, what it's called, at North Carolina. He played a little bit. He's not very good. That's just going to be my opinion there, guys. But, I mean, I guess he's there. Traquan Smith. He's a good red zone threat. Again, I've always said that. But, you could, 5+ touchdowns back to the years 2018, 2019. He's always the guy, contested touch type of guy. So, again, he's good in that aspect. But, again, you don't want him on the field too much. That's all I'll say. They got a bunch of backups here. Receiving-wise, again, after Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm like, yeah, none of these guys are really, again, they don't have a number 2 receiver. And, again, Jameson Williams is their number 3 isn't bad, I guess. But for this receiving core, I'll probably give them a C+. It's, again, I'll be honest, I gotta give him a C+. I just can't see this receiving course better. If they still have Josh Reynolds, definitely be B tier, but they don't have a number 2 receiver, and just, again, they probably have like 2 number 3 receivers, to be honest, but again, you guess you kind of put that number 2, but I gotta give him a C+. I just don't see this receiving core as, again, being like, really all that spectacular. Again, you have an elite number 1 receiver, but outside of that, again, it's just a bunch of uncertainties, and guys that obviously you know what you're gonna get from them in some ways, I guess, so again, predictability on that side, none of those guys. After Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm like, whatever. So, C+ is what they're going to get. Again, you can again, moan in the comments, I guess, if you want. Either way, 18 points. Now let's look at the tight end position. Okay, tight end time. Obviously, this is a place where the Lions really, again, the past couple years have been really good. Obviously, again, you could argue the second half of 2 years ago wasn't great, but again, that's because they didn't have T.J. Hockenson. But a common misconception about Sam Laporta is that he's a good blocker. He really isn't. I call him average at the best when he's actually, like, focusing on it. I don't really think that matters because he was an absolute monster last year at 86 catches, 880 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yes, most of that was schemed. He wasn't, again, always getting open. I'm just going to be realistic there. But, yeah, Sam Laporta is, again, a really freaking good tight end. He's definitely top 10, and he perfectly fit that role last year. Brock Wright, honestly, a really solid backup. He didn't get used much as a receiver, but, again, 2022 did do a decent job. Again, he can break tackles. He's a pretty big dude against 6'5", 250. pretty solid run blocker for them as well. He's not a bad back tight end at all. James Mitchell, solid run blocker as well. He's 6'4", so he's a little bit taller. But the one issue I have with him is he's just kind of like clumsy, or just like again, it's not natural movements from him. But yeah, he's not bad. Shane Zylstra, really all I can tell you about him is that he had a 3-touchdown game against the Panthers in garbage time, and I think it was like Christmas Eve a couple years ago. Jesus, but that's really all I can say about him. Again, former receiver, I think as well. Or, yeah, I think something like that. Either way, though, tight end, I'll give them a B. No, I'll give him a B+. You could argue I'll give him an A-. Again, you could say I'm a little bit bullish on say Laporta, but I gotta give him an A- because they gotta go back up too. I think that's pretty fair there. 6, 12, 18, and 20? No, yeah, 20 points for the tight end position. Now let's go over this really good offensive line. I'll just say it right now. And for this Lions offensive line, of course, it has been well regarded the past 2 or 3 years that it's been one of the best groups in the league. While the depth is not, I guess, kind of what it used to be, I guess, it's still pretty darn meh. But either way, Taylor Decker, solid left tackle. He's above average. Does a really good job at sustaining block, which is again has kept him as a guy who can like really again be called quality. Run to blocker, not gonna set the edge great. He's not always again gonna be able to penetrate super well or gonna be a lead blocker, but as a dependable left tackle, is gonna again hold guys down for a sustained time. That's what he does best. Giovanni Manu, Manu, I think, or Manu, something like that, out of British Columbia. Again, I heard this guy, he played rugby. This guy's just an absolute, again, beast. He's an athlete. He can move guys super duper strong. I expect this guy, again, he's going to take a little bit to develop, but again, I don't think he'll be as good as Jordan Mailata, because Jordan Mailata is just, again, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But again, for a 4th round pick, again, if Giovanni Manu could just, again, kind of develop into a guy who can just be really athletic, which, again, he is, and just be, again, a guy who can get out there on the edge and just absolutely, again, go toe-to-toe with these other guys, because, again, he has that athleticism, that would be great. I don't expect him to be anything, like, crazy technically, though, because, again, he hasn't played football before, so we'll see what they can do with him. I guess he played a little bit. Either way, Graham Glasgow, he's actually been really good for the Lions. Again, looking at what he did with the Broncos, he had like 2 years there with the Broncos. He did a decent job. He had a rough 2021, if I'm not wrong. And again, he's come to the Lions again and been a depth piece for them. And he's actually done a really good job. I think he's improved a lot in his technique as against these interior finesse guys. He's really improved a lot. I like him at left guard there. Coyote Osika, he hasn't been great when he's played, but he has at least been again valuable as a run blocker. So again, don't be surprised if he comes in once in a while. Frank Ragnow, one of the best, if not the best center in the NFL. Again, injuries are really the only thing holding him back from being that guy. Duke Clemens, UDFA to UCLA. I think I saw 2 snaps from him. Again, he just didn't really. Again, he played a good amount, but obviously didn't get. I saw 2 snaps. We'll see what he can do. But again, not a bad backup there. Kevin Zeitler, again, he's very underrated. He's never been. Again, he maybe had 1 season where he was really freaking good, but he's always been like a pretty darn good player overall. Again, he's older now, but again, not the same player he used to be. But again, he's still a really, really good player, and you'd be pretty happy to have him there right guard. But at some point, he will probably deteriorate. Kobe Sordell, I like him as well. The only issue I really have with him is again, he just hasn't really proven to be a consistent blocker. Which again, it's pretty important to be a starting caliber offensive lineman. But hey, Sewell, probably the best right tackle in the league. Again, if you're gonna really gripe about it, Lane Johnson. Dan Skipper, he's like 6'10". That's really all I'll say. He also got in a fight with a Giants player a couple years ago. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I really like the depth of his O-line, even if, again, the experience really just isn't there. The starters, though, are obviously really freaking good. I'll give this offensive line an A. I have no problem giving them that. The depth, again, could be a little bit better, but again, I like it. So, again, this offensive line should be good for a while. 6, 12, 18, and 22 points for the O-line. Now let's get this overall offensive grade. Okay, doing the math here, we get a sum, there we go, of 141 points, which again, I'll already say is a pretty good amount, which puts this offense in the A- tier, which again, I think is where they fit. You can know they're A tier, but not, again, really what I think will limit this team at times is, again, they're going to be losing at some points in a game, at some point in the season. It's just going to happen. Multiple scores, again, it always happens for a team. Again, it's really hard to find a team that, again, is always in a close game, again, except the Vikings, or is always just dominating. Again, maybe the Niners a little bit. But yeah, you're going to be down by 2 scores in a game here and there. And I'm just going to say right now, the receiving course isn't good enough. Again, because, again, Amon-Ra St. Brown will get hurt at times. Again, I mean, what it's called, we'll get shut down at times. It just will happen because, again, how good he is. But again, the tight end position, obviously, with Sam Laporta does kind of boost that a little bit. But again, if the receivers can't get open, it's going to be an issue, obviously. And then the fact that this receiving core just isn't that too great. I think he's going to be the one, again, Achilles heel for this football team. But again, if Jared Goff can have that confidence, and again, Sam Laporta, follows up with a really good year this year, and again, they're able to run the football the way they want to. And again, the O-line is really good. Yeah, this will probably be the best offensive line, I'm going to say it right now. But we'll see if they can be that. Again, really good offense in terms of talent. Let's start with this actually improved defense. What isn't improved, again, what was already good, would be this linebacking core. Okay, getting this defense, of course, is a linebacking core that, again, is very similar to last year. A lot of continuity, of course. Jack Campbell, the rookie, I think overall had a really promising rookie season. Again, there were times where I'm like, yeesh. He did not have a good season in coverage. That's just putting it very bluntly there. But he was a very reliable tackle for them and definitely did a good job again supporting Alex Anzalone, again, as a run defender. Again, was able to, manipulate leverage very, very well and also got off blocks even better. So I really like the future for Jack Campbell. Again, if he can just be a little bit better in coverage, it'll go a long way there. Of course, the backup there is Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Again, he was former commander and stuff. He's been around the league. He's pretty old at this point. Texans, my bad. But again, he had one season 2021 when he started. He did an okay job. Really was just kind of ineffective in coverage, to be honest. That's why he's kind of been a backup ever since. But he's a solid backup, one of the better ones in the league, to be completely honest. Alex Anzalone. He is really underrated. The big thing holding him back is he just does not make plays in coverage. He's a good guy in coverage, like pretty reliable. I think he's actually one, again, very, very decent, but he just doesn't make the required, again, kind of like, I don't even know, like proactiveness, I guess you could say. He's kind of robotic in coverage. Again, if he went that extra step, I guess, and just, again, was able to, again, kind of that natural feel in coverage, he just doesn't have that. He would probably be one of the, if not the, I don't know if the best. He would be one of the best linebackers in the league. That's what's holding him back from being like a truly elite guy. But yes, Alex Anzalone is a very good player. He was fantastic for them last year. Again, he does miss a tackle here and there, but Alex Anzalone is very, very good. Even again, what is he now? 28, 29. Malcolm Rodriguez, he started for them in 2022, if I'm not wrong. Again, as a rookie, he was just absolutely awful in coverage. That's really why he's a backup now. But he does do a couple decent things. So, I mean, again, he's not the bad backup middle linebacker. Again, I just don't think, again, he really has as a pro starter there. Derek Barnes, obviously, he's not very good at tackling. I mean, you kind of need that, I guess, to be good. But he's super athletic, and also, again, he really doesn't do anything bad in coverage. So, yeah, I guess that's why he's starting to get. That Cowboys way was so bad, though. Yeah, he does make a big mistake there. Ben Neiman. Bronco, I think, and oh my bad, a Chief. He's always been a backup. He's been, again, a rely guy in man coverage at times, again in the slot even. So again, that's good for him there. But again, really outside of that, again, he's kind of ineffective against the run. James Houston, he had 8 sacks as a rookie. Didn't do anything last year. I think he got injured. Please get him in the game because this is probably your most talented pass rusher, of course, outside of Hutch. But yeah, that's all I got for this linebacking core. I'll probably give them a B+. I really like this group. Yes. The depth is also really good too. That's part of it too. Okay, I get none of these guys are exactly like really even close to. I mean, Alex Anzalone is probably your closest thing to elite, but all those guys are good players, so I'll give him a B+ there. Again, even Derek Barnes is kind of around average. 27 points. Again, you could. I'll give it a B. Again, I like those guys a lot though. So that comes out to 24 points. My bad. Now let's look at his defensive line and of course the pass rush of this football team. Of course, they do run a 4-3 defense, so we will basically just kind of like go over it, and then we'll grade each part. All right, Aiden Hutchinson, top 5 edge rusher in the entire NFL. I really don't care what you said. PFF's pressure system is broken. Again, I can really just say it right now. Probably debunk it. I'm not going to do that in this video. Maybe I'll make another video, a special one, where I, again, debunk PFF's pressure system. But really, that's kind of a waste of time. Either way, though. He is a really good run defender, and he gets a ton of pressure. I really don't care how he is. Again, he's one of the probably the best move in the entire NFL in terms of consistency. Of course, his scissor move that is. Yes, you can do it considering you have a lot. He doesn't have again most insane sack numbers, but he is again consistently around 11 sack guy. These first 2 seasons, again, he just gets so much damn pressure. So yeah, he's elite. Mitchell Agudui out of Miami. I don't know who this dude is. That's probably a bad thing, but he could be really good, so I will give him a chance. John Kaminsky. I don't even know how he's like at this point. Yeah, he's really athletic, but he's done absolutely nothing in his career to warrant really any sort of thing. He is a medicine against the run, which I kind of get. I mean, they kind of tells you that, but as a passer, he's just completely invaluable because he rarely gets pressure because, again, he really has no moves. And what are we, 5 years in his career, he still hasn't developed anything. Josh Pascal, he's a solid backup there. Marcus Davenport, I mean, at this point, I think the jury's out on him being an actually good player. He didn't really play much at all last year, so I can't really say much. Again, he had a 9-sack season to really, again, keep him on the Saints roster in 2021, but he was really just not good at all in 2022. Marcus Davenport's probably really at this point, again, again, a rotational guy. But again, you're not gonna again go crazy if he is starting there. What you will go crazy about is his defense. What is called interior. Because holy crap, it's so good. Ali McNeil, one of the most underrated players in the league. He gets a ton of pressure just with a bull rush. It's crazy. As a run defender, doesn't really have any again block shedding ability, but it doesn't really matter. Because again, he just moves guys like nothing. DJ Reader, probably the most underrated player in the league, if we're being completely honest here. Yeah, DJ Reader's just awesome. Yeah, he doesn't get any sacks, but again, as a run defender in a what is called consistent pressure, yeah, he's awesome, guys. Penetrates at an elite level. DJ Reader is awesome. Yeah, last year got injured, but I really don't care. Levy Onwuzurike or something like that. Really promising rookie year. Didn't play in 2022. I think he tore his ACL. Last year didn't look the same in the games he did play. I'd look to see how he's going to bounce back here, but I do think he could be a good player in the league. But at this point, he just hasn't worked out so far. No, I'm joking. Broderick Martin, solid backup. As far as I'll go with him. Kyle Pecco, he's like 40, I think. Or it might be, yeah, he's 30. I was close, 10 years off. But, yeah, you get the point there. This is a pretty deep defensive line. I'll probably give them a B+. Yeah, it's just, again, the interior is so freaking good. Yeah, I get Marcus Davenport isn't great. But, again, the way this defense is designed, I really don't care. That comes out to 6, 12, and 18 points. But when it comes to pressure, yeah, this defensive line isn't that crazy. Again, they're going to absolutely, again, I'm going to actually give them, I'll give them a B+. Because, again, it's just, again, the run defense is really good. But, yeah, I got to keep them a B+. Pass rush-wise, though, again, if James Houston can actually, again, be awesome, I expect this to be an A-tier pass rush. But right now, I'll probably got to give them just a B. Yeah, the depth is pretty bad. But, again, Agent Hutchinson, one of the best players in the league. The interior will create a lot of havoc anyway. So, again, I'll be honest, I'm kind of just ignoring a lot of this stuff. The depth will be low for pass rush, don't worry. But, yeah, I really don't care. I can give them a B. Because, again, the Lions have had a decent pass rush the past 2 years. I expect it to be even better this year. Because, Agent Hutchinson will be consistently good. And, obviously, you got some guys coming back. They should be decent. 12, 24, and 32 points for that pass rush. I might be overrating it a little bit, but I don't care. Now let's get to the secondary. Starting out with this improved quarterback position, of course, which was the topic of the preview video. Hey, my toes, oh, it itches. Either way, though. Okay. Quarterback. Again, we already talked about it mostly in that preview video. Again, I do like this group a lot. Carlton Davis, again, I kind of already said it, but he, again, watch the preview video if you want to watch it. It's pretty funny. Either way, though, Carlton Davis, He's the number one corner for sure. Again, he's really proven that throughout his career. He's always, again, he gets tested a lot. Again, missed 5 games last year, which kind of sucked for this defense because I think they would have actually just shot at being, again, the Lions, again, who's ironically on now. But again, they got themselves the number one corner here. We'll give us some big catches, some big plays. He's, again, not the best corner in the league by any means, but again, he's a guy you can rely on who can be able to travel with that number one receiver and, again, do a pretty good job overall. So, again, he's that number one guy. Again, with that injury, I don't know for sure how good he'll be, but, yeah, Carlton Davis, again, he's the number one corner. Emmanuel Mosley, super talented, super fast, super athletic, but he tore his ACL and did not play at all last year. I would be surprised if he's anywhere close to the same player he was, again, in 2022, at least to start the year. But don't be surprised if he really starts to show up towards the end of the year. Terry Arnold, well, probably the most, again, prototypical, like, yeah, that guy's really freaking good just looking at him. Again, when it comes to cornerbacks, again, coming out of the draft. But I don't think he was the best cornerback. I think I was third, if I'm not mistaken, second or third. But yeah, his natural ability isn't, again, off the charts, honestly, in watching him on film. But yeah, this guy, really, really good length. Again, really athletic. Super duper good hip fluidity, again, comparison to, again, the way he plays, again, and his lakiness. But yeah, Terry Arnold's a really good player, and I expect him to be really good in the NFL. At least, maybe not as a rookie, but he will be that boundary guy. Kendall Vildor, he's an interesting guy, because he just wasn't very good with the Bears' first few seasons. When he started in 2021, I don't really know why he was. He got couldn't tackle, struggled big time. 2022, though, was pretty good in the when he played. Then last year, though, didn't play much at all. Again, in preseason he looked good, which again is good. I'd be surprised if, again, if this guy is even okay, to be honest. I really don't expect. Stephen Gilmore, of course, he was what is called UDFA out of Marshall. Again, Stephon Gilmore's brother. He's got to have something there. I mean, I don't know how to stay there, but we'll see how good he is. Amik Robertson, of course, they got as a slot guy. Amik Robertson just plays the ball really, really well. Again, they have a super deep cornerback room, so I don't expect them to have to do too much this year. Again, as a guy, again, who's solid in zone, don't expect them to have to be anything more. Nah, but again, when the ball comes his way, he will make a play on it. And it's Drake Stroud Jr. I think he's super physical. Again, if he can just become a little bit more, like, I guess less funky. Again, just not panic when the ball's in the air. He should be fine. And Drake Stroud Jr. Again, we're going to be a pretty good target player, in my opinion. Again, even if he's not, again, the most talented. Quarterback-wise, super duper deep. They really don't have, again, a guy we can really provenly say is, like, really freaking good. Again, Carlton Davis obviously number one. Better, I'll be honest, probably gonna give them a B. You could argue it's a B+, but yeah, it's super duper deep, guys. It's probably one of the deepest, if not the deepest, cornerback rooms in the entire NFL. It's not the reason it's not B+, because none of these guys, again, when it comes down, you know what? Screw it, I'll give them a B+. I like this cornerback room a lot. That comes out to 6, 12, and 18 points. Time for the safety position. And when you go in depth, when you talk about these line safeties, I mean, you're going to need, again, probably take a safety hazard for Kirby Joseph, because holy crap, he absolutely annihilated, what it's called, Tyler Higbee's knee. It was cheap as well, but let's get that out of the way. Brian Branch, the rookie phenom, he's probably about as good, or he's the most versatile guy you can get at strong safety. He can match up in any sort of set you really can think of. He's a very reliable tackler. He holds his own against these bigger lead blockers. Again, against tight ends, he's going to shut most of them down. He is, again, a chess piece that about every other team in the NFL would. They give him a pretty good amount to get. Again, there were some inconsistencies at times for him, but again, I really don't care because, again, Brian Branch is freaking elite. Again, arguably the most, again, versatile player in the entire NFL. Efedim Alfanu, I mean, well, if we're going to be really technical, he's even more versatile. Nah, he's not as versatile. But, yeah, Josh Metellus is more versatile, of course, of the Vikings. But, okay, Efedim Melifonwu, towards the end of the season, was really good. I don't think he kind of went what is called unnoticed. He had 3 sacks this year, though. He's a very, what is called Ryan Blitzer. Obviously, had 2 interceptions that clinched this team's division fate. Again, first of the division, obviously. But Efedim Melifonwu, very underrated. He's actually been a quality player the past few years. I expect him to get a lot of playing time this year. Again, for a super deep secondary, he should be at the top of the list. Again, as a backup there. Kirby Joseph, alright, the problem I think with him is he thinks he's way better than he actually is, even though that's really not. Again, he's still really good. Like, he's super duper talented. Again, back-to-back 82 tackle season to begin his career. He owns Aaron. No, not really. What the heck am I saying? Oh, no, that's what, right. He owns Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Kirby Joseph is really good, guys. That's all I'll say. He is really good. CJ Moore, you could have better backups, to be honest, but he's pretty experienced. Again, that means he won't make as many mistakes. Oh, Brandon Joseph, I swear. Was this the guy? No, this isn't even it. Wait, who's the guy who had, like, the interception against? I swear, isn't Kirby Joseph older? I guess he's not. Well, who are the guy picks? Packers, Lions, 2019. There we go. Who would the pick off in that game? It was Amani Oruwariye, that guy. Yeah, he's out of the league because he's so bad now. But, yeah. Back on topic, yeah, this is a really good, in terms of talent, it's really good. Again, if Kirby Joseph can focus on actual, like, playing and be a lot more attention to detail, it's probably one of the best safety rooms in the league. I'll give them a B for now, though. Again, I might be screw it, I'll give it a B+. Again, Brian Branch is so good, and again, Kirby Joseph is a really good center fielder when it comes down to it, so I'll give him a B+. That comes out to 9, 18, 27 points for this cornerback room, and B+ overall for the secondary. Now let's see how this accumulates for this defense. Okay, doing the math for this defense. Okay, that equals 24 plus 18. And again, I know you guys can't see the points for this, but this is doing the adding here. 119 points for this defense, which again accumulates. Again, when we put in again the factors here, to 100 to a B-. I'll give them a B. I think this defense will be good this year. Again, last year they were probably the best run defense in the entire NFL. The problem with them, they didn't have a really, again, a true number one corner, or really just any depth at corner. This year, that is complete, again, completely different. They have one of the deepest cornerback rooms in the entire NFL. Even if, again, there are uncertainties if these guys can actually be as good as they've been in the past. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because I really like this group. Again, they've had some young rookies that played absolutely outstanding last year. Will they be able to play the same? Probably not overall, but we'll see if they can obviously prove me wrong there. But I'll give them a B. I think this will be a good defense this year. Now let's get into the special teams unit. Again, the depth of this football team and what this team's going to be this year. I think you already know. Special teams, special plays, special players. Yeah, sketch. Let's go, guys. Either way, their kicker, of course, is Michael Badgley. Of course, you can't see that, but yeah, he's their kicker. He was 100% last year. Again, that's a little skewed because he played in 4 games, but he's never really been a great kicker. Again, 2022 by far was probably his best year. I mean, he was good with the Colts, but he's never actually played a full season, and he's been okay. So pretty much uncertain if you think if he could be a good kicker there. But I mean, I guess he's decent. Jack Fox. Really wasn't good last year at all. Again, for a guy who was probably the best punter in the league coming into what is called the season for like 4 years, he was not good last year. That's just what down here for a punter, I guess. Khalif Raymond, pretty darn good punter returner. He does muff one once in a while. Khalil Dorsey, not much to write home about as a kick returner. And Scott Daly, he's a long snapper. That's really all I'll say. But for the special teams unit, they have had their woes at times, but that will probably put them at a C+. I mean, again, nothing really to write home about. There's uncertainties, too. All right, the depth of this football team. Quarterback depth, I'll give it probably a C+. Yeah, probably C+. Running back depth, B+. Wide receiver depth, D. Tight end depth. Oh, okay, so if we're going to be like, what is that? C+, B+, and a D. That'll probably put us at a C, if we're going to be honest there. So C so far. Tight end depth, I like probably a B. C+. Offensive line depth, not great, probably a C. Which will probably keep him in a C. We'll say C plus for the offense on depth. Linebacker depth, I'll give that an A. It's really good. Defensive line depth. I don't know. It kind of probably averages out to a C plus. So right now we're at a B for this defense. Pass rush depth, D plus. So that's gonna put them probably at a C. If we're gonna be honest there. Cornerback depth, A plus. That's gonna move us up to a B minus. Safety depth, it's not great, but again, it's pretty good with the vetting Malafanu, which will probably put him in an A minus. Again, he's just starting caliber guy there. So A minus will put them at a B. B, C plus, B minus for this depth. I like the depth of this football team. Again, there's some positions that are a little thin though, so that'll probably I'll give it a B. Screw it. I like the depth. My bad. I like the depth of this football team. Either way though, that comes out to 12, 24, and 32 points. Now, talking about the identity of this football team, what is this team going to be offensive? I already talked about it. Again, if they get down by a lot of points, again, could that be an issue with this team coming back? I really think it could. Obviously, again, that wasn't too big of an issue last year, but again, this wide receiver core can step up. I don't know if it'll be much of a problem at all. So, again, not too concerning, but that's really the one thing I have to say about this offense. So, again, if they can figure that out, that would be awesome. Defense, and obviously, they're going to go for it on fourth down and get a lot of two-point conversions. Again, that's what they're going to be, and that comfort is going to be very prevalent throughout the season. Defensively, though, rely on your best players. That's probably what I'll say. And if one gets injured, you have depth, so it really doesn't matter. So I think they'll have a comfort with this team, which again could be their downfall. I guess if they have one. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good identity. They're not what they're going to be, but again, it's a good way of knowing what they're going to be as well. It's not going to be like, yeah, who the frick cares? But obviously, it's not like I don't think this team will be as motivated as they've been in the past. Even again, if they play like they are. Again, the mindset might not be the same, but again, they do know what they're going to be. Let's again be there for the identity. Now let's see what that churns out to the overall roster grade. All right, doing the math for this roster. Now we're gonna do 6 plus 32 plus 40 plus that's an equal sign. Jesus. 40 plus 119 plus 141. That puts them at 338 points. And lands them in the A- tier, which I think is actually where they belong. This is probably one of the best rosters in the league if we're going to be, like, downright honest there. But, again, really the one thing I got to say about it is there are parts of this team that just aren't quite good enough. Like, wide receiver, yes, special teams unit. But, again, if they have, like, offensively they have a lot of A tiers. But, again, this defense doesn't have anything in the A tier. Everything is good. This defense, every single level, it's good. But nothing is really good. If this cornerback room, or again, the safety room probably is arguably an A tier, but again, Kirby Joseph again just hasn't been consistent enough, or really seems to have really just hasn't yet honed in on it. Again, if he reaches his full potential, this is probably an elite group, which might boost him in the A tier, because this again one of the most balanced rosters in the league. There isn't a hole on this football team. I'm definitively say that, but what holds them off from A tier again is the fact they just don't have defensively that elite position group, but it's really freaking good. So I'll give them an A- and 338 points, which is where they rest. That is all I got for the Lions, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, see ya for. Oh yeah, here's a hint on the next team. And oh yeah, if you didn't know, this guy had a really good 2021 season.
To offense, go the Colts. Wow, Taylor's gone. Jonathan Taylor, goodbye, touchdown, Indy, as he crossed the tape at the goal line. 78 yards. And this is a nightmare for the Jets.